Hey guys, my name's Logan. I am now a strong man in the faith, a strong man of Christ, but I did not always start out like this, man. Today I'm going to be sharing my testimony, and I hope you guys enjoy. So, when I was little, I grew up with a pretty toxic household, and it eventually led to my parents getting divorced. But throughout going through this divorce, I was always stuck in the middle. I was 7 years old. I was always stuck in the middle between my mom and dad, always having to channel the arguments with each other, giving the insults back to each other because they would tell me what to say to each other. So from a very young age, I was broken, guys. There was so much I went through when I was little, and it just led to so much trauma, guys. Between my parents getting divorced, being sexually assaulted, people in my life passing away, and just being in a toxic environment no matter where I went, if it was my mom or dad's, or even at an aunt or uncle's house, because there was arguing everywhere in my family, guys. So fast forward a few years, going throughout school, throughout middle school, throughout elementary, high school, guys, I was always trying to people please everybody. Whether it was doing something for somebody, making people laugh, or even bullying other people to try to impress other people that I thought were going to like me and I thought were going to be my friends. So I was going through an identity crisis all throughout school, guys. Like, I was always people pleasing everybody, trying to get the attention from everybody, trying to be the funniest in the class, hurting people that did me wrong, whether it was physically, mentally, or just in many different ways, like spreading rumors about them. So I was always going through stuff. And then one day I came across pornography when I was about 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old. So I started masturbation at a very young age. I started watching porn at a very young age. I started to sexualize girls at a very young age. And it eventually led me to losing my virginity at a very young age, at 13, and this really led me down a dark hole. I started to smoke weed because someone introduced it to me. I started to get drunk. I started to encourage my friends to get drunk with me at my house. I used to steal my mom's vodka when I was like 14, 15. I'm 19 now. But I used to go out on the weekends, especially in the summer. I'd be at the beach with my friends. For the whole summer, I'd go to my dad's, and we would get so drunk every night. We would get so high every night, and it was distracting me for a while. For a while, I thought, oh, this is so fun. I just want to live like this forever because I love this. I was living in that for so long. I was going out on the weekends, doing 2-mans with my friends, 3-mans with my friends, going around, getting as drunk as possible, smoking as much weed as I could, getting my hands on whatever nicotine, whatever weed, whatever alcohol I could, and then later getting my hands on whatever girl I could. So I would go around, I would try to hook up with as many girls as possible, and I started racking up the bodies, guys. Like, I thought I was Mr. Macho Man, and all my friends were giving me pats on the back every time, like, oh my gosh, dude, she was so bad. She's this, she's that. I can't believe you did that. And I thought I was so great, guys. Like, I thought I was like the man at this time. Like, I felt so good doing this stuff, and I loved it. But then it slowly started to burn out. That happiness started to burn out, guys. It all started to drift away. And I started to become such a depressed person. And it eventually led me further into this substance abuse, into this sex stuff, into all this stuff to try and distract myself. I wanted to kill myself, guys. I started cutting myself and stuff. Like, my days just got so dark. I would literally pray, God, do not wake me up tomorrow. Please do not wake me up. And I would wake up, get out of bed, and I would be like, why, God? Why am I still alive? Why am I still here going through this stuff every single day? If you love me, why am I going through this? Why do I want to kill myself? And it just started to get to me, guys. It started to get so far into my mind that my thought patterns would just go so deep, guys. And I would have constant anxiety, constant depression, and I would just be overthinking all the time. And I started to distance myself from people, and I started to treat people terribly. And no one ever really tried to help me. I mean, my mom and my friends and stuff would have that wishy-washy trying to help. My mom was probably one of my biggest helpers through this. And I was preaching the word of God through all of this, guys. Like when I was in middle school going into high school, I was preaching on a TikTok. Like I was preaching and then going out and doing exactly what I was preaching about. Like I would literally preach about not getting angry, not fighting, and then I would go beat my older brother up like an hour later. And guys, there was just so much about me that was so broken, that was so bad. And guys, it was just terrible. And it eventually led me to one day trying to kill myself. I don't want to explain the way, but it eventually led me to trying to kill myself one day. Every day I would think of a new way that I could do it. And I would never go through with them, but there was a few ways that I would always think of, and I was in such a dark place, guys. And the devil had me on his finger. The devil was so happy with where I was. And then I kind of started to see the light, guys. I started to move closer to God. I started to truly put my faith in God. I started to read my Bible more. I got back in church, all this stuff, but I still had this pull to the world. Like Paul says in Romans, for what I want to do, I don't do, but that I hate, that I do. I felt exactly like that at this point, and I was still empty, guys. I was still smoking weed. I was still having some sex here and there, indulging in a lot of lust, in a lot of that drunkenness and stuff, but it slowly started to fade away. I slowly started to not want that stuff anymore. And now I'm going on about 16 months of celibacy and not really doing anything with anybody. And guys, like, God has changed my life. A year ago, me and my friends had this crazy demonic encounter that I can talk about in another video. But ever since that day, ever since last Thanksgiving, today is a few days after Thanksgiving. It is November 30th today, 2025. So about a year before this, we had this demonic encounter that I will explain in another video in a later time, but that is what truly locked me in with God. Ever since then, I've been on fire for God, and ever since even 6 months ago, guys, I have been absolutely on fire for the Lord. And I was still kind of living in the world. Like 6, 7, 8 months ago, I was still living in the world, still had this pull of the world, guys, but this is me, this is God, and this is the world. I was kind of like this, and then I would shoot back, and then I'd go back again, and then I'd go back to God, and then I'd backslide a little less, and then get closer to God, backslide even a little less, closer, and then I would get to that middle ground, and then I would keep going forward, get pulled back a little, and then keep going forward. And now, guys, I am just all the way over there. God has absolutely freed me. So Jesus can change your life, man. The stuff that I was going through, I thought I would never get through it. In those moments of depression, anxiety, hard times, I would always think I'm never going to get through this. Why does this have to keep happening? Why am I going through this every day? But until I truly put my faith in Jesus and truly started filling that void with Jesus Christ, nothing changed. Guys, nothing changes if nothing changes. All right, guys, that is my testimony. It's nothing crazy, but I just wanted to introduce myself and how I came to Christ, because this is a new YouTube channel. I have a TikTok as well. The link will be in the description and in my channel description. But this is my first ever YouTube video because I'm trying to outreach on more platforms, spread the gospel more. If you stayed to watch this entire video, thank you so much. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button so more people can see this. And ultimately, I really hope this channel turns into something big so that I can minister to people, so that I can spread the word so God can speak through me. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you did, if you forgot my name, I'm Logan Campbell, and that was my testimony. I hope you guys got encouraged from that. Thank you so much for watching.